Uninterrupted.
Now, more of Patricia Raskin, Positive Living, on News Talk 630, WPRO, and 99.7 FM. To speak with Patricia and her guest, call 438-WPRO or toll free at 1-800-321-WPRO. Now, here's Patricia Raskin.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome. Beautiful sunny day today. Remember, this is a program that teaches you how to turn your obstacles into opportunities and your problems into solutions and how to live the life you want to live. And it's all done through role models and positive thinking and not Pollyanna folks. Real situations, real problems. But what we do here is we show you hope. That's what this program is all about. That's the work that I've been doing for many, many years. And I'm very excited today because I have on a celebrity and someone that really is also making a huge difference in the world. My guest on the phone is Brad Meltzer, the New York Times bestselling author and host of History Channel's Brad Meltzer's Decoded. He has several bestselling books. He is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Inner Circle, The Book of Fate, and 6 other bestselling thrillers. And he has written this new book, which is Heroes for My Daughter, and he also has written Heroes for My Son. But this book is Heroes for My Daughter. Welcome, Brad.
Ma'am, I appreciate it, Patricia.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on the program. What made you write this book, Brad?
Truthfully, just nothing but love for my daughter. 6 years ago, on the night my daughter was born, my heart doubled in size, and I had this little girl who I just wanted everything for. And when I was born, on the night I was born, my father bought a bottle of champagne, said he was going to open it up on the night that I got married. For my daughter, I'm not a champagne drinker. I said I'm going to write a book that lasts her whole life. And then one day I'll give it to her and really teach her how to be a good woman. And I wanted to bring together good advice that I could give her. I looked at heroes like Sally Ride. And people know Sally Ride is America's first female astronaut in space. But why did NASA pick her? Of all the people they could pick, why her? And some say it was because she was a genius at physics. Others that she was a great athlete. She was a tennis player. Some say that it was because she was fearless. And she was all those things. But here's what also had to happen. Sally Ride had to see an ad in her college newspaper and answer it, calling for volunteers. She had to see an opportunity and seize it. And I wanted my daughter to learn that lesson. So I said I'm going to collect heroes throughout history, one-page stories of just a bit of information, but a bit of inspiration.
Well, they're very diverse. Now, here's what's so interesting. I mean, on one hand, you've got Eleanor Roosevelt, right? And right underneath her, Tina Turner. Then you've got Leonardo da Vinci, and right underneath that, Dolly Parton. I mean, wow, what a difference.
Yeah, and you know what? What I wanted to do is send that message that there are all types of heroes. They're not just in history books, they're all around us. And in fact, one of the things when I handed in the book, my editor said to me is, you know, Brad, you use one word over and over again in this book. And I said, what's the word? And she said, fighter. She said, use the word fighter in almost 12 entries. You use the word fighter in the Dalai Lama's entry. He's a pacifist and you call him a fighter. But here's what I won't apologize for. I want my daughter to learn how to fight. I want her to know that when she wants something, she should fight for it. And when she sees injustice, she should fight harder than she's ever fought before.
Is it fighting or is it passion?
No, it's not. Fighting does not mean bullying, right? It means striving, reaching, soaring. That's what fighting is. Reaching beyond yourself is fighting. I don't mean physically fighting. I tell her in the book, of course, don't raise your fists against anyone else, and you should, love God and be nice to the kid who needs it in class. Those are the first pieces of advice I put in there. But I mean fighting for what you believe in and fighting against injustice.
Now, here are some of the people you have in here. I just want to read a few. How many do you have? How many is it? About 50?
60.
60. Okay, here are the ones that people I think will recognize most. Audrey Hepburn, Helen Keller. You've got Christopher Reeve, Amelia Earhart, Stevie Wonder. I mean, it really runs the gamut. Ella Fitzgerald, Lucille Ball, Dolly Parton. Again, Leonardo da Vinci, as I said before, the Three Stooges, which is interesting. Winston Churchill, Benjamin Franklin, Abraham Lincoln, Rosa Parks, Jane Goodall. I mean, again, it seems so interesting that you have a Dolly Parton, with an Abraham Lincoln.
Well, you know what? And here's why. Dolly Parton's entry is this: is that Dolly Parton grew up in a little one-room shack in the foothills of Tennessee, and became obviously one of the biggest singers in the world. She wound up going and buying that little shack that used to have no indoor plumbing, and anyone else would have plowed down that little piece of land, built a mansion, and said, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
Right? What she did is she bought the piece of land, and she built a shack that was the same size. She built something the same size. She put indoor plumbing and a couple of amenities, but the same size as what she has now. And to me, that's an amazing lesson, which is simply never forget where you come from.
Yeah.
Never. And I think it's, but to me, I'll tell you, I got to be honest, the best heroes in there, yes, I love everyone you named. I'm proud of every one of them, but some of my favorite ones are the ones you've never heard of that are mixed in there. There's a little girl named Alex Scott, who's a little girl, a 4-year-old with cancer, who says she wanted to open up a lemonade stand in her front yard because she wanted to give the money to doctors to help other kids with cancer
like her.
Incredible.
How did you go ahead?
Well, I was going to say, but let me just finish this one second. She basically not only opens up a lemonade stand, raises $2,000 in one day, but here's what your listeners have to hear. Is soon other lemonade stands start opening up, all with Alex's name on it. And then she says, let's raise $1 million. Okay, then she said, when on June 12th, 2004, hundreds of lemonade stands open up in every state in the country, ordinary people selling water and sugar and lemons to help kids with cancer. She dies when she's 8 years old, and before she dies, she says, let's raise $5 million. To this day, Alex's lemonade stand has raised over $45 million, and it's still going strong. One girl, one idea, one big dream. That's a hero for my daughter.
Wow. What a beautiful story.
Yeah, I mean, that is hope to me, right? I know your program is all about hope, and I agree. Like, that's what I want. Every story in this book is 1 page long. Yeah. You open it up, and on the right-hand page is the story, the one I just told you about Alex Scott. On the left-hand page is her picture, and you get to share and, for yourself, for your kids, for your graduates from college and high school, or even for your mom to say thank you for what you've done for me.
How did you pick them, Brad?
I think I pick them by you follow your heart, right? You want to mix. You don't want all Revolutionary War heroes. You don't want all historical figures. You want some pop culture ones. I want Lucille Ball in there. Yeah. I want to have people, but I mean, my favorite heroes are, in a sense, the ones that it ends with. My grandmother's in this book, and my grandmother died last year. The book came out a couple days ago. It would have been her 94th birthday. When my grandmother lost my grandfather, my family said, "Oh, she'll never go on." She went on for 20 years. Then she went blind, and they said she'll never go on, and she went on. Then she went deaf, and they said she'll never go on, and she went on. And I'd go see her, and I'd say, "Nah, how you doing?" And she'd say, "I'm fine, darling. I can't complain." And I would say, "You're blind, and you're deaf, and you're a widow. You can complain all day long." But to her, she had family, so in her eyes, she had everything.
Isn't that wonderful?
I love that. But for you and your listeners, the best hero in the book is on the last page, because the last page is blank. And it says your hero's photo here and your hero's story here.
Now,
and Brett, I promise you take a picture of your mom or your grandmother or a teacher or a military member of your family, and you write one sentence of what they mean to you. You put their picture in this book, that will be the most, not just a good Mother's Day present, but that will be the most beautiful hero and heroes for my daughter.
And it personalizes the book. Now, my question is, you also wrote a book, Heroes for My Son. Now, in the book, Heroes for My Daughter, which we're talking about now, you have both men and women. So now with Heroes for My Son, I assume you had both men and women. How did you pick the ones for the son and the ones for the daughter?
You know what? There's no one. I have the exact same percentage. I have more men in son, and I have the exact same percentage of more women in daughter. But both have a mix. It would be a horrible dad of me.
So how did you do it, though?
And not include women, right?
Brad, why did you pick some heroes for the son and some heroes for the daughter?
You know what? No reason. I split them up just to hit the mix. So, for instance, I put Helen Keller in my daughter's book. But I put Anne Sullivan, who taught Helen Keller, and my son. No difference. Could have easily mixed it the other way. I put Anne Frank in my daughter's book.
Yes.
But I put Miep Guys, who found Anne Frank's diary, the woman who found the diary and saved it, in my son's book. And to me, they're absolutely, every one of them, interchangeable. The only 6 heroes that I repeated in both books, I repeated 6. And the 6 are Abraham Lincoln, Lucille Ball, Rosa Parks, Gandhi, Eleanor Roosevelt, and my mom. And those were the ones that I said they must be in both. Those just, Abraham Lincoln and Gandhi and Rosa Parks.
And your mom or your grandma?
My mom. I put my mom in there, too.
Oh,
my grandmother I put in my daughter's, but my mom I put in both. It's my mother.
And that's Terry Meltzer.
Terry Meltzer's. My mom is in both books. And there are some people that just rise to that level. And to me, Abraham Lincoln and Rosa Parks reach that level. And Amelia Earhart. I'm sorry. Amelia Earhart's also in both of them.
Now, Brad, on your History Channel television program, Decoded, you prove, you really work with uncovering hidden truths about history. So in Heroes for My Daughter, what are some of those unexpected and inspiring facts? And we only have a minute to break, but just give us one.
Sure. I'll give you one of my favorites, Amelia Earhart, right? Everyone knows Amelia Earhart of breaking records and being this amazing pilot. Here's the truth no one knows. She wasn't a natural pilot. It didn't come naturally to her. She had to work at it. So it's not that she was the best pilot in the world with these God-given gifts. She just worked harder than anyone. That's a hero for my daughter.
All right.
I want my daughter to have that lesson.
Beautiful. And we're going to continue more with Heroes for My Daughter with Brad Meltzer, who is a best-selling author. And his new book, again, is Heroes for My Daughter. And he is the host of the TV show Brad Meltzer's Decoded on the History Channel, and best-selling author of The Inner Circle, The Book of Fate, 6 other best-selling thrillers. And he also has a book, Heroes for My Son, so not just Heroes for My Daughter. And how can people find you? They look up, what's their website?
It is bradmeltzer.com, but they can find the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any bookstore.
Okay.
But if they go to bradmeltzer.com,
Right.
you can find me, you can find the books, you can even read a sample chapter if you like.
And if you have any questions for Brad Meltzer, you can call us after the break at 438-9776. You're listening to Patricia Raskin, Positive Living, right here on News Talk 630 WPRO and 99.7 FM. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. Hi, everyone. We are back. You are listening to Patricia Raskin, Positive Living, right here on News Talk 630 WPRO 99.7 FM, and on the web at 630WPRO.com, and we are on the web. And, I'm very honored. I have on such a great guest. My guest is Brad Meltzer, and he is a New York Times best-selling author of many books. Brad is also the host of History Channel's Brad Meltzer's Decoded. So you can log on or go on to the History Channel and you can watch his program, if you haven't already, Decoded. When is Decoded on, Brad?
We're usually on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. We just finished Season 2 and are waiting to hear about Season 3, but the reruns run all the time.
Okay, so Wednesdays at 10. And Brad, again, is the New York Times bestselling author of The Inner Circle, The Book of Fate, 6 other bestselling thrillers. And today we're talking about his newest book, Heroes for My Daughter, but he also wrote a book, Heroes for My Son. And in this book, he literally does one page on the heroes that he feels will most influence his daughter and other women's lives, and he does the same with the Heroes for My Son. So tell us one of your special stories, Brad, from the book.
One of my favorite ones is Randy Pausch, who famously did The Last Lecture. And, he was dying from pancreatic cancer, and rather than going through his treatment, decided he was going to spend his last days with his family and delivered this last lecture to people on how to live their lives. And it just went viral, went crazy. Millions of people saw it, and it's wonderful millions of people hear that message. But I had a friend of mine, Jeff Zaslow, co-wrote The Last Lecture with Randy Pausch when they did their book, and Jeff actually sadly passed away a couple months ago. But before he died, I asked him for a story that almost no one knew. And he said right after he died, Randy Pausch's young son, Dylan, went to his father's friend and said, "Is cancer solvable?" And his father's friend said, "No, there's no cure for the cancer that killed your dad." And the young son said, "My father told me, though, that I have it within me to solve problems. But here's why Randy Pausch is so important. Because last summer, his young son, Dylan, was on Capitol Hill lobbying for pancreatic cancer research funds. So it's great when millions of people hear your message, but it is so much more vital when just one acts on it. And that's his lasting legacy. I love that one person can do just that and affect people like that."
Well, another one who did just that, one person, was Rosa Parks.
Sure. No, listen, what I love, Rosa Parks, everyone knows the story of Rosa Parks, right? She sits on the bus. She refuses to get up. It's almost become a cliche in the sense of the story that gets told over and over that I wish we paid it more attention because it's something that kids go, "Oh, yeah, Dad, I know Rosa Parks." It's one of the most vital stories of all time. And here's why it's even more vital to me, and this is the detail that's in the book. It's not about just her sitting on the bus. Did you know that Rosa Parks actually faced that bus driver before? That one other time when he saw her, he kicked her out of the bus and made her walk miles home in the rain. And I love the fact that this wasn't just a stranger she was taking on. This was a recurring bully.
Isn't that something?
I love that strength is there for people to know about.
Wow. Here's another one. I'm going to read a couple of other unusual facts. The Three Stooges were the first to truly take on Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, so let me say this. My wife hates the Three Stooges. Hates them. She's like, why are you doing the Three Stooges? And I said, did you know this story about them? Is back in World War II, the government asked Hollywood to not really make movies about Hitler in those early days of World War II. They didn't want to start an incident. They didn't want it to be propaganda. And most people listened. Everyone listened, except for 3 guys named Moe and Larry and Curly. These 3 Jewish guys, the Three Stooges. They were the first ones to parody Hitler on film. They did it 9 months before Charlie Chaplin did it in The Great Dictator, even though Chaplin usually gets the credit. And they did it, now think of this a moment, nearly 2 years before Pearl Harbor. nearly 2 years before Pearl Harbor, these guys decided to take on the bully. I want my daughter to learn that lesson that sometimes you have to stand up to the bully.
Yeah. And they did.
They did, and that's how you make history. And what I, when I was working on the book, it was very vital to me that, it's not just filled with famous people. My belief is ordinary people change the world. I don't care where you went to school. I don't care how much money you make. That is nonsense to me. I believe in regular people and their ability to affect change on this world. And it's why there are unsung heroes in this book you've never heard of, like Alex Scott, that stand right alongside, to me, Rosa Parks.
Well, and it's really, Brad, about having a purpose and a mission and a passion, and I understand that very well.
Of course. It's about doing what, and fighting for what you love.
Yeah,
that's what all these people do. They fight harder than they do for whatever it is they love. And as I was doing the book, I was looking for clothes for my daughter, and I started looking around and seeing all these clothes with princesses on them. And I always tell my daughter, don't be a princess who's waiting for the prince to come rescue you. You can rescue yourself. And to prove that to her, instead of giving her a princess, I had a friend who's a well-known cartoonist draw a little cartoon of Amelia Earhart. And I wrote, I am Amelia Earhart below it. And on the back of the shirt, I wrote, I know no bounds. And I gave it to my daughter. She loved it. And then my wife said, I want one. And then my wife's friend wanted one. And then we sent one to the estate of Amelia Earhart, and they said, we love this. So we actually launched a clothing line with the estates of Amelia Earhart, Lucille Ball, Muhammad Ali. We also have George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. And if you go to ordinarypeoplechangetheworld.com, you can see and give heroes to people you love and for yourself to show America who real heroes are. Not reality stars or dumb athletes, but who real heroes are.
So these are T-shirts.
Yeah, they're all T-shirts, and we have mugs, and we have, bottles and things like that you can buy, little baby gifts, but also for adults. I wear mine all the time.
Give the website again, please, Brad.
It's ordinarypeoplechangetheworld.com. And if you go to ordinarypeoplechangetheworld.com, you will see all the things. To me, what I want to do is really remind America who the real heroes are.
Well, and it's interesting what you're doing, because what I'm doing is I'm doing this through the radio. I'm bringing people on like you that can share these stories so we can get the word out. Because
everyone fights with their own power, right?
I mean, there's so much negativity and there's so much what doesn't work, and we're almost trained to focus on that. And if we focus more on what does work and where's the beauty and where's the hope, we'll all be happier.
Yeah, and what we do is when you buy a shirt, 10% of the profits we give them to charity. But here's what I love, is you get to pick the charity of the three that we have. And what happens is we have the Alex's Lemonade Stand, which helps kids with cancer, Sharshera, which helps women with breast cancer, or City Year, which puts mentors in really rough public schools. And you get to go to our website when you buy the shirt, and you get to say which charity should get your donation.
That's
and
wonderful.
I love the fact that people get to affect where our giving goes, because to me, it puts the power right back into ordinary people's hands.
All right, so it's ordinarypeoplechangetheworld.com.
Yep.
And if people want to write you directly or have a comment about this program, they certainly can write to me, Patricia at patriciaraskin.com, but they can write to you, Brad Meltzer 44 at gmail.com.
Correct.
All right. And again, watch Brad Meltzer's terrific show, Decoded. And it's interesting because, again, you really are finding these hidden truths about these wonderful people that you're sharing, which is similar to what you do on Decoded. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think, people think that history is something that you study in a book and it's dates and facts that you remember. That's not what history is at all. History is a selection process. And it doesn't just choose a moment and a person and ram them together. History chooses every single one of us every single day. And the only question is, do you hear the call? Yeah. When we did Heroes for my daughter, I wanted my daughter to learn that call is always there. You can always react to it.
Thank you, Brad, so much for being on the program. It was really an honor and a pleasure. Stay on the line. Brad Meltzer, his newest book is Heroes for My Daughter. You can log on to ordinarypeoplechangetheworld.com and buy a T-shirt of your favorite hero. You can, and that goes to charity. You can also write to him, Brad Meltzer 44 at gmail.com. And next up is Margaret Batting, and she is from Elevate Consulting. She's going to talk about how you can look your best and why image is important. You're listening to Patricia Raskin, Positive Living, right here on News Talk 630 WPRO and 99.7 FM. We're also on the web at 630WPRO.com.